and I cannot stress that enough.
Yes, teamwork seems to be the play of the game, and just kind of moving together as a team. In that case, it was a three-man force as part of a whole team that was moving as a force. So we'll see what they're going to switch up now. But again, we're now on Dorado, the payload map, and we do have in the top left the Shanghai Staggered. In the top right, we do have the LA Mortals, and right now this is the third map of their scrim. And Dorado is a lot of fun because we'll see. I like to see Pharaohs, I like to see snipers because there are a lot of rooftops especially for these first 2 points. Then usually see something a little different than that last point, but. We do have a few subs coming in on both sides, or hopefully something changing, getting some practice for a lot of different comps, a lot of different people playing on the same team. I'm glad to see some changes, and I'm glad to see what they're going to be doing here on Dorado. For right now, we do have on defense is going to be the Shanghai Staggered to start out, and attack is going to be the LA Mortals. So what are you hoping to see on defense for Dorado right now from Shanghai?
Well, I already dig the swap of players. One, because it gives an opportunity to someone else to step in, and two, maybe this player can have an answer to what, in my opinion, they were lacking, which was a little bit more maybe call outs, right? And kind of reminding everyone that they need to, if they're going to push, then they need to commit together. Otherwise, it's not going to work out. But their defensive comp seems pretty standard, very aggressive, but standard. Bunker down, shoot from range. It's going to be huge on the shields as well. We have a Pharah that can easily do a lot of damage, as well as the Hanzo, and of course the Roadhog.
We're going to see if Hammer was going to be on the Widow, is not right now. So right as we look at it for now, LA Mortals does not have a hard answer except for Quab to the Pharah that's going to be up in the air, and possibly accompanied by Mercy for as often as possible. And there's the Pharah Mercy. They are moving around. They're going to give this kind of first corner out. Quab trying to find some damage. And I do want to see a lot of coordination from Shanghai for those halts and those hooks. Hopefully trying to get at least just get that solid pick, because they are going to be pushing behind the payload, because they can't do much, and they are going to figure out that they get to this point, and they're going to fall back to the second defensive point, which is essentially around the corner. So I like where they went right now. I would have liked to see them actually move a little bit farther back to use the carts as best as possible. Not a lot of people dying, so a lot of healing going out. Good job, healers, right now. We do have a dive in right now from Summer Hayes, trying to find Mercy. Does boost out as fast as she can. They're not really actually stopping the point or contesting at all. This is like free movement right now. I want to see them get on the point just related. Rutix does get a Honey Badger right now. A Dragon Strike gonna get Summer Hayes, who is asleep on the ground, and gonna take out the mech of Hebrew Hammer as well. Mosspaw does find Mama Argy, and that's a huge Ana grenade as well. Well done. Star does take down NDS, and this mini diva and Mosspaw are gonna fall to Rutix's fantastic bow skills.
So going back to what I was initially saying, essentially, congratulating them on the teamwork. I can kind of take that back. Now, what I'm trying to say is that maybe they're getting a little too comfortable. Maybe they're saying, you know what, we're going to get a little bit more fresh with them, not act as aggressive, and just see what works with our dive. Or maybe they're just really bad at dive, and now this is the best time for them to work at it. I'm still trying to figure that out, but a great defensive comp and defensive play by the Shanghai Staggered.
And there went a fantastic halt and hook that was shielded, but good coordination coming out from the Aristahog on the Shanghai. We do on the attack. We do have 3 ults, soon to be 4. We do have Drop the Beat, we do have Ana Boost, and we do have a Blade. Here comes out the Blade, and there goes the Nana Boost. He does get Rutix right in the back immediately. Mirai is going to fall down to Summer Hayes as well, but dive in the back. Rutix does get Mrez by Mama Argy, and is unfortunately get Ana grenaded, and is not going to be able to heal up as the Valk goes off. So that's a wasted Valk, unfortunately, or well countered, rather to say. And there is going to be pushing forward as best they can. Rutix is going to be taken out again by Quab. Honey Badger taking down Ranger, and Cactus going to fall to Quab as well. Again, Quab was on the Doomfist that we saw from last map, so doing a not just a character swap, but they're going to do a role swap. Not see that very often. I'm almost getting picked out, noticing that he's out of position. Gets trying to dive on him. Now it's both healers right now for Shanghai, kind of poked in here by themselves. No support. Mirai is going to be slept. Gonna be poked, and they're not taken down. Really great back and forth healing. Not able to take him down with 3 people, both tanks and the Genji. I am impressed, sir, madam, or it. Rutix actually gonna take down Mosspaw, so kind of push him back a little bit. But they are gonna get around this corner at the very least. Well done, protecting the Mercy and the Ana from going down.
And while we take a
Wow.
brief pause here and catch our breath, we're gonna take a look at the old economy on the LA Mortal side. We have Honey Badger, we have Hubru with the Diva Bomb, and NDS once again holding that beat. And I'm hoping it's not until the very last second of the match. I'm hoping to see that sometime soon. And Summer Rays with the Primal ready to charge in 3, 2, 1, and we're back at play.
Yeah, so I like seeing both tanks right now, kind of taking the high ground, pushing, trying to put a little pressure maybe on Star up in the air. And Brutix up here on the balcony as well. The shield going down, so not they're going to have any protection, but they do have both tanks from Shanghai stopping the payload around this corner. Hebrew Hammer taking out a mech. Not going to be taken down anytime soon. Mariah actually taking down NDS is a nice pick. Right now we have Star getting hit just a little bit from Quab in the very, very far back. Trying to pick him down. A Dragon Strike going to come trying to separate the team of LA Mortals. Not finding purchase with anyone, however, because there's nobody really to combo. They went with a Hog Orisa, not really the Zarya you'd like to see with the Hanzo. There's another Mosspaw Dragon Blade Nano Boost. Right now coming forward, trying to put a lot of damage on Ranger. However, Mirai does take Summer Haze down with an Angry Monkey. Pushing back in the back, not finding anybody with the blade, unfortunately, but enough to kind of disperse them. Star gets taken down by Quab again. However, Mama does take Mirai back up, so they're going to be holding it just a little bit. Hog trying to do a little bit of damage. Mosspaw taking down Mama. Winston Jive it in the back. That's going to help Hebrew Hammer take down Mirai, and Mosspaw is going to finish off Cactus as they do get this full point.
And once again, we're going to take a look at the old economy. NDS still holding his beat, as you might have expected. Honey Badger, I am surprised that he hasn't swapped, especially in the second point because of the amount of height that you have at a disadvantage for the Brigida. But I'm happy to see that it's working out. Great movements by him.
It is working out right now. That he's just kind of hoping to keep with his team kind of being anti-dive versus going with the dive. And you don't really see actually a lot of that coming out from the defense on Shanghai. So I'm again, like you, I'm amazing in screen. We have Bongos coming out, trying to take down a lot of people. Moss does take down Star in the air. Summer Haze able to get Mama. Mariah with a huge Anno Grenade that helps finish off Honey Badger and Summer Haze in the back. Rutix does take down Mini Diva, and that's going to be a pushback and reset. Almost getting the hook as well for another almost fantastic stagger. But they're going to regroup and go with their 4, almost 5 ults on this next push for LA Mortals.
A little acknowledgement on the Shanghai Staggered side. Let's take a look at Miramir holding that ult, and he has been great at with his nano grenades, as well as Cactus building an ult. This is the second ult on the follow-up point. Ult in less than 2 minutes.
Moss is trying to get a little flank as the rest of the team moves forward. They might expect that because we do have both healers kind of attacking. Dash and another Nano Blade going to come out. Does get Rutix right off the bat. Mama's trying to keep Star alive as the Justice gets slept, and Mama goes down to a Diva Bomb as well as Star, who are up in the air, unfortunately. Mirai going to get their reflected sleep from Mosspaw and then finished off, and that's going to be another full push right now. They're going to have a Dragon Strike trying to get them off the point. It does stop before it does a full animation, because if you do switch off too soon, the Dragon Strike will disappear. That's going to be a full push to the end. Finally, NDS using his beat drop for the LA Warriors.
I cannot believe he did that again at the last second of the match. Drops the beat.
Well, he didn't have anybody to really counter it with, because the ults that were on Shanghai weren't necessarily ones that would be specifically countered by a beat drop. So perhaps he was waiting for a big initiate or something like that to kind of keep to the reason why he kept it for so long.
Yeah, I would assume that on the last fight, which they won, they lost the first attempt and they won the second attempt. I would assume that before they actually engaged, that he will drop the beat and they go in with that extra buff. But that wasn't the case. I believe Honey Badger did use his ult, but it was in the first attempt, and that was lost. But I do like the way they're playing, and I feel like it's essentially working out for them, because unfortunately on the Shanghai side, there's no true counter or no true Pharah. I'm not trying to have some type of bad manners here, but I'm a little stunned at the
doing
fact.
as big an impact as we would like to have seen, and Quab was actually doing a fantastic job, even as the Ana, taking her down a few times, getting a sleep off during an ult. That was what they were using as a counter to the Pharah, and it seemed to be working.
Exactly, especially when Honey Badger was on the Brigida, and you have an Ana, that's one of her direct counters. And I don't think Honey Badger died that match. No, actually he did. He did a couple on 2 pushes. But again, I wish I could see a little bit more a little bit more of a punch coming from their Pharah and Mercy combo.
LA Mortals seeming to not even worry about this first corridor. They're a little far back. They are now finally maybe deciding to push and maybe get some picks up to the top, but they were kind of holding towards the second defensive point. Honey Badger trying to be on the back, but do see a Widow. And we do see a, again, not normal comp for tanks. I'm more of a tanks main, what I like to see. And we do have Summer Haze on the Orisa and accompanied by Hebrew Hammer on the Diva. Diva I like because the verticality, but I'm confused why it's comboed with Orisa. We do have some flanking coming out right now from Shanghai. That is going to kind of just disperse them a little bit. Rutik's getting taken down, however.
We have a pocketed Zarya doing the flank. That didn't work
Cactus.
as well.
Honey Badger kind of in the back doing a lot of poke from the far side above the payload. Star being all alone on the Sombra is going to fall back before he falls down. And that's going to be, despite being kind of pincered, Elimor is getting pincered by the Shanghai. They do hold that pretty darn well. Honey Badger almost getting eyes up as well. Not many other ults going to be online anytime soon. Rutik's jumping up trying to get Honey Badger down. Honey Badger does trying to dive away. Properly not running after him. Rutik's, I like that.
And now we're going to go ahead and take a look at the second choke point here where they're going to hold down with the shield. There's no real counter to the shield on the LA side. It's not breaking at all. It's just
getting hacked, and then Honey Badger going to finish off Rutik's where he can finish off Mosspaw. Good defensive Widow play right there. Hebrew Hammer taking down Mama. And now we have a Mosspaw kind of pushing him back. He's kind of in the middle of them. I'm glad he got up on the top right, but it is... oh, Ranger, unfortunately, trying to turn around and charge, which is what Reinhardt should do when he's there alone. Unfortunately, gets booped into a wall, so wasn't able to get away completely after Mosspaw does finish him off and then finds the Mercy on the back end. So that's another slight stagger. Well staggered by LA Mortals.
On the Shanghai side, I do like the Rein Zarya Brigida combo, but I'm afraid that there's no damage on the LA's shield. Therefore, their bunker cannot be disturbed, and they're just going to keep holding their ground, and that's going to be a big issue for Shanghai.
They're trying to play
forward.
Ball of Death, however, the Ball of Death has no real big damage. There's going to be another Ana Blade into a Genji. Genji's going to find Mama Cactus, and Ranger's going to go down to NDS. Summer Haze is going to take down Mirai, and that's going to be a fantastic, another good combo. We've seen it several times, so we'd like to maybe see some type of thing to stop it, because Mosspaw dashes straight into the air, uses the ult, his cooldowns are reset, Quab does the Ana boost, and he comes down on top of Shanghai.
I would like to see Shanghai to maybe swap to a dive comp. I feel like they'll get a lot more value of a dive comp over their current comp, which is to
it's slow push
forward.
with 2 flanking attack DPS, which they to be fair, they will have both their ults up soon. They do have a Valk to push in on, which Shatter is almost there, and thus Honey Badger takes him down while the shield is down. Cactus will have is going to get that res off. Well-coordinated shield on the Mercy as he gets that res off. Rutix finds Honey Badger in the back. Hey, Hebrew Hammer taking down Mama. A Shatter going to get Summer Haze, and Hebrew down. A self-destruct going to come. Might get Reinhardt. Reinhardt gets his shield back up just in time after you charge Summer Haze in the face. Mossball does finger off Ranger, however, that's right now it's kind of 5v5 right now. We got some reses out from both sides. Mercy's Cactus does finish off NDS. Mossball getting Cactus after that. And the Mirai just kind of being up in the air as best he can. Rutix going to reflect Quab's grenade on himself. Eugene coming, again coming up for Rutix. That does finish off Honey Badger, Hebrew in the mech and the mini version. And it's going to be just Mosspaw trying to do a little defense, but unfortunately Star does take him down. It's finally going to be a capture of the second point up here for Shanghai.
Excellent call by the team to continue fighting on the Shanghai side. Someone on comms must have said it's winnable because we saw Ryu Blade come into play, would essentially help them win that last point.
One of the plays that I enjoyed seeing very much was Cactus's shielding of Mirari when he was rezzing the Reinhardt back up. I think that helped the team push forward and actually get that last push because they were running out of time. So I like coordination like that. It's a small thing, but it is kind of important. And Rutik's trying to do a little dash dance up here on the top where you have both tanks of Diva and Monkey and Mosspaw up here on the corner. A big flank trying to come out from Star. The EMP is ready. The grab is ready as well. A lot of poking up here, like a huge Ana grenade again that's going to help them dive down and get Mirari down. Cactus trying to back up. Rutik's going to get Summer Haze in retribution. However, the main healer is down right now for Shanghai. Ranger falls also to Moss Paw, and right now it's going to be pushback and regroup for Shanghai.
And this is a great example of high ground and poke damage. What those two can do. On the second point in particular, you have this high ground area where they're currently holding on defense, which is why I mentioned before as to why they kept that Brigida on the second point, because you need to be able to contest the high ground. If you're not contesting, then you're going to get poked, and the poke damage would eventually lead to an ult or a nano grenade just falling behind you on your back line.
I just want to compliment LA on this positioning even more. Right now we have both healers, and not just in the back, but on the back in the high ground, so they will not be able to be easily poked at. But we'd have all the tanks, and both tanks are very mobile. When somebody gets on the back line for LA, they will be able to answer almost immediately, either Mossball or both tanks. So I do like actually seeing they're moving forward and kind of coming around to the flank, trying to avoid being directly underneath the high ground, staying behind Ryan's shield as best they can. However, Summer Haze is saying, this is my point, I'm a monkey, haha. There are a lot of ults for Rutek's getting taken down by Quab. Mossball going to take down Dorado, unfortunately. Coalescence coming up from Mama, trying to save him, but unfortunately not quick enough. Summer Haze doing a lot of poke damage as best they can. It is not necessarily winnable because right now they are, again, they're down their one of the main healers for Shanghai. A lot of damage is going out. Penny Badger just doing a lot of free shots, as well as NDS just getting a lot of free shots up there as Zenyatta, and they're going to get another full pushback and reset for Shanghai.
15 seconds on the clock, and we have a combo from the Shanghai Staggered. We have a Zarya ult with the Ryu Blade, and now we've seen the Ryu Blade before. It works well. The question is, can the Zarya ult, the Graviton, be placed
they need to get on the point first. Mama getting a rest, but we do have a huge counter that if they can get NDS down first, that'd be great. But Ruchek does fall down. The grab comes onto the point, kind of just to stagger them out, make sure they're not actually on the point, but the reduction in the radius of that ult has gone down. Mama and Mirati going to be taken down by Hebrew Hammer. And there's like stars getting bubbled, but not another Nana Blade coming out, getting down Star, and that's going to be a full clear grab Transcendence, showing that they had the ults to answer what could have happened with a grab and then combo maybe into a that Blade. However, Rutix was taken down too early in that map, or in that fight, and they did have Star that had the EMP for a decent while. Would have liked to see maybe him get up there on top, saying I'm going to EMP now, and once the EMP, that's almost psychological, where they don't want to dive in, because the dive tanks with none of their mobility, they're not going to last very long at all. But they held on to that for maybe a little bit too long.
I was hoping for a Zarya and Ryu Blade. I was also hoping for a Ranger Reinhardt ult with the Star EMP. Unfortunately, we did not get to see one of those combos come into play this round, because it was a textbook defense play by the LA Mortals.
Holding
aside
that
from
high ground.
Exactly. Aside from doing the basics, which is high ground, poke damage, know when to jump in, and follow up on the dive, right? That's all they did. And even though it's basic, even though it's something that gold players, silver, they all know that. Maybe some of them don't. That just doing the simple basic things is what got them this win.
Absolutely. But that's still good back and forth. Hopefully we're going to see some changes coming out from both teams, kind of get some more combos in there. Again, we saw Quab starting on damage and then going on healing, and both Annas were doing fantastic job, good sleeps and good Anna grenades, but that is going to put Dorado in the book, so we're looking forward to this next map when it comes up.